All right, let's start now by bringing Tino on, please. I'm so excited to have a chat with Tino. Always, always. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time it is anywhere else in the world. How are you, Tino?
Great, thank you for having me, Renza. It's
Fantastic.
almost mid. It's
Sorry,
almost
say that.
evening. It's almost evening. So yeah, 6 p.m.
Wonderful. I'm going to step away for a little moment because we want to hear you talk a little bit about sparrows, and then we will answer some. We will have a bit of a chat about it afterwards.
Thank you so much. Right. So sparrows. I'm even so I'm humbled to be presenting or to be speaking about sparrows, which is an initiative by the community and for the community since 2018. By then, I wasn't even an advocate, but I know I get diabetes since 2010. So, right, let me just jump straight to what this is all about. Okay, I'll move the slide. Okay, the first slide. So, basically, what is this about? Sparrows is just an initiative that was started by the Diabetes Online community. So, hence, I say it's an initiative by the community and for the community. So it's also like one of the things that that is usually run annually in February throughout. So in the global grassroots effort that raises money and awareness for insulin for life since 2022. It provides insulin, it provides supplies, education, and advocacy for the under-resourced communities because they struggle to get hold of insulin, to get access of insulin that they need. Hence, Sparrow's initiative started by the Diabetes Online community so that they can help people to empower them, to give them the things that they need, not just insulin, but education as well. So thanks to the Diabetes Online community that I'm representing today. So each February leading up to Valentine's, today is Valentine's. Pardon my manners for not wishing to say happy Valentine's to everybody who is watching tonight or whatever time it is, but the time wherever you are. So usually we encourage people are encouraged. I've been encouraged. I've donated. So we are encouraged to donate to Spare Arrows and spread awareness on social media using the Spare Arrows hashtag. So thank you to everybody who has always been sharing wider and donating. That means a lot to people in the under-resourced communities or under-resourced countries. And what has it been the impact? So previous campaigns raised the thousands of dollars. As you know, like if you can go now on the Spare Rose website, you can see that since it started in 2013, thousands and thousands of dollars have been raised through donations from the amazing diabetes community that have wanted to support people that are living with diabetes that cannot, that ration insulin. There's a lot that will be happening. So thank you for making it easy for people living with diabetes in our communities. So donations, they make a tangible impact, like a difference in the lives of those living with diabetes, ensuring that access to lifelong or life-saving treatment and support is continued because diabetes is the lifelong. So basically, let me just speak a bit about Insulin for Life. What it is, it addresses the global challenge of diabetes with a significant majority residing in low to mid-income countries. And as I say, like for Insulin for Life, they are providing these medications to people in the in under-resourced communities because like we know there are other initiatives, for example. I wouldn't want to talk about the other organizations that it has been supporting, but as we know, diabetes is lifelong. People continue to require these medications. Hence, Insulin for Life is there to step in to help people, providing these things to people that need it, that requires it, that may probably not be able to afford it. Hence, the Spare Rose initiative was started to support Insulin for Life with with missions and everything. So many face challenging to afford or to access insulin, as I said, these essential supplies. So with Spare Rose, if people continue to donate like they've been doing, we can reduce these problems and these issues so that people can have a long life and have a quality life like so many other people as they should. Because if you have diabetes, doesn't mean that you have to struggle. So if there are people like us, people in the diabetes community, we can help you, we can support you so that you can have everything that you need. So now, what is the call of action? What I'm calling everybody who is joining this call, who is watching this, is that please make a donation to Sparrows to help save lives and make a real difference in the diabetes community because they depend on us. Insulin is lifelong. People require it each and every time. You cannot have it, and then the next moment you don't have it because you have to ration. So people have to continue to have it. So please visit the Sparrows website, www.sparrows.org, and make a donation today if you haven't done so already. And lastly, I think what are the ways? What are the other ways to get involved? If you don't have a donation, for example, you can share this with your network, and probably you'd find people that might also want to make a donation. So let's spread awareness by sharing sparrows on social media, share the personal stories of experiences related to diabetes advocacy, because they inspire people. When you share your own lived experience or circumstances or times when you didn't have access to insulin and what this could mean to people that do not have access to it, because it means so much to those that are being saved. And lastly, I would say thank you for your incredible support and participation in this. I've seen that so many people have already made donations. Please, let's continue to do so up until the end of the month, November 29. It's a leap year, so we will be continuing to run this. So support us, and let's make it possible for people that are living with diabetes, that are looking up to us. And with all being said, I would rest my case, and maybe Renzo would have questions from the diabetes community that are watching. Thank you.
Tino, thank you so, so much. Sparrow Rose runs as a volunteer program initiative from the community. As I said, this is the 11th year. I've been very involved, and this year I've taken a bit of a step back, and thankfully you have stepped up, and you're doing such a remarkable job. What are you hearing from the community? I know that there are always people so excited when it comes to Sparrow Rose. Are you hearing that as well?
Well, there's so much excitement, and people are so keen to see this happening and running. They want to support it because they've been seeing it. As we
Yeah.
say, it's an initiative by the community for the community. So people are so happy to support.
Well,
Unfortunately, I cannot see how many have donated, but I know there are thousands and thousands of donations. So we just need
yeah.
to continue doing so. Yeah.
I just saw Emma Jovel's comment there that Valentine's Day is 31 years. It's her diverse. Happy diversary, Emma. So 31 years, and every year since Sparrow Rose started that she marks her diversary with a donation. That's so generous. Thank you so, so much. And we see that. I would encourage people in the community to, if you can, to please do make a donation. We know that that's not always possible, but you can still get behind it by sharing it with your networks. And so that's always really, really important. Tino, thank you so much. I'm going to talk Sparrow Rose just a little bit more, though. I want to just talk a little
Thank
bit
you,
about
Renzo.
Thank you, Tino. Honestly, I refer to Tino as one of the hardest working advocates in diabetes. I say it all the time, and I genuinely believe it. He is such a force in our community, and for him to step up this year to also take the lead with Sparrow Rose, we are just so, so fortunate to have him doing that, but also to be such a brilliant, brilliant voice and force in that community. So the president of Insulin for Life is Alicia Jenkins, who is an endocrinologist based also in Melbourne. I really would have loved for her to come on this morning, but I'm not that mean to make her get up at 3 a.m. to do that. I get to do that, but I don't think it's fair that I dragged her up as well. However, we have a statement. So if you could please just, I'm going to read this, so please bear with me. But I think that this actually will also answer a number of questions, or at least address some of the concerns that people in the community have had about Sparrow Rose this year, but also in recent times as well. In particular about why I guess there hasn't sort of been a rallying using the Sparrow Rose initiative to support people affected in the Middle East. And I'm going to talk about that now as part of the statement, but there's a lot more in there. So please bear with me as I read this. And this is from Dr. Alicia Jenkins. So she says, thank you for your interest and support of the activities of the Insulin for Life Network, particularly including during this 2024 Sparrow Rose campaign. Insulin for Life has been active for over 25 years, providing in-date, unopened insulin and related diabetes supplies to people in disadvantaged regions in over 96 countries, leading research and advocacy, and assisting with locally led initiatives in diabetes screening and education. We also provide shipments to hospitals and clinics on an ongoing basis, and also in response to man-made and natural disasters. Insulin for Life provides aid irrespective of age, ethnicity, gender, religion, geography, or politics. Other great aid organisations all do valuable work in response to disasters, but this aid, which is large and ongoing, often takes 3 to 6 weeks to commence, which, as many of you will know, is far too long for someone with type 1 diabetes without insulin. And this is where Insulin for Life can be and has been very, very helpful. Typically, Insulin for Life is able to get supplies in within the first few days to a week of the disaster commencing. To do so, we are dependent on many partners, including individuals and organisations coming together as they usually do. As an example of positive outcomes in the Russia-Ukraine war, the Insulin for Life network started sending aid in within the first 3 weeks of the war in 2022. Sorry, the first week of the war in 2022, and we are still sending in shipments in 2024. In the first 3 months, supplies sent and received and distributed in Ukraine included 100,000 mils of insulin. Just think of that. 100,000 insulin delivery systems, 400,000 blood glucose testing strips, 5,000 glucose and ketone meters, 1,000 HbA1c test kits, and 100,000 other diabetes supplies, including lancets, swabs, and hypo treatments. Okay, now at the opposite end of the spectrum. To date, we have been trying but are not yet successful getting aid into the Israel-Gaza conflict, specifically the Gaza region. We have had hundreds of kilos of shipments ready to go to identified partners in Palestine and to surrounding countries to partners. But unfortunately, the recipients were not able to receive the essential clearances from the recipient country's customs, without which supplies will be confiscated or returned. Insulin for Life has been in contact repeatedly with national and international diabetes organisations and human rights organisations seeking assistance. The UN Special Rapporteur for the Right to Health, Dr. Tlaleng Momafeng, and I apologise for not pronouncing that correctly, made a powerful statement in November 2023 regarding the Israel-Palestine conflict, calling out a cessation to the use of the practice of medicine as a political tool. Such activities were also used in the Ethiopian civil war. We welcome input from any individual or organisation who can help us get diabetes supplies to those in great need. In the meantime, we continue sending much needed supplies and advice to many other partner organisations. Insulin for Life has 8 collection and distribution nodes in the USA, Europe, UK and Australia. We are predominantly a volunteer organisation dependent on the efforts of volunteers and the goodwill and donations of the international diabetes community and industry. Much support has come from the Diabetes Online community and the Spare a Rose campaign. We also write grants, bake, host coffee breaks, run marathons, and seek donations from other partners. It does take a village, indeed a global village, to help people with diabetes in disadvantaged regions not only survive, but to thrive. Please help us continue to help these people by volunteering, sharing knowledge, or donating, such as to the Spare a Rose campaign. As the US diabetes doctor Elliot Jocelyn said in 1928 and remains so true today, the effort of diabetes care is great, but the prize is also great, for the prize is life itself. Thank you. So that's a statement from Alicia. I'm not going to take any questions around this now, but simply because I haven't got time to read them all, and we really do want to move on. And we've got an incredible initiative from the community that is looking to support people who are unable to access insulin due to conflicts, and we're going to move to that now. But please do come to me at any point in time, and I can certainly pass that on to Alicia, and I know that she's happy to speak with people as well.